Hi, welcome to Recap House. Today we're going to recap the film named Too Handsome to Handle, which was realized in 2019. The movie stars Cullen, an excessively attractive boy, consistently tries not to enter ordinary school and decides to spend practically 100% of his life inside the house. By the beginning of the film, the Mass family has been attractive for a few ages. They are respected by many as a result of their magnificence, which thus makes them a huge load of cash. The oldest child, Oakes, is a web powerhouse. He has a great many devotees due to his looks and is considered an affection master who assists men with intriguing their squashes. His father, Akar, used to be a heartbreaker who dated in excess of 1,200 young ladies prior to meeting their mom. In the interim, the mother can likewise be considered attractive on account of her manly elements and an undeniable mustache. Finally, the hero, Cullen, is the most youthful child and the most appealing of all. The family has become acclimated to their life as individuals with great looks. With the exception of Cullen, who battles to live regularly due to his attractiveness. He frequently wishes he was just somewhat alluring, like that he could go out without being pursued by a horde of ladies like clockwork. Young ladies go off the deep end, drop, pull their hair, and frequently get nose drains on getting a gander at his alluring face. Thus, he has never had veritable communication with a young lady. He tries not to go out openly however much as could be expected, and has been self-taught till now. Cullen has no companions he can converse with other than his pet fish. He frequently plays a card game with it and converses with it without holding back. His family watches him through a camera in stress. They believe he should have a typical young life and make an honest effort to help him. Oakes regularly shows him pictures of young ladies attempting to attach him with somebody. In any case, Cullen says that his sort of young lady is somebody who could do without him. He needs to be seen for his character and interest, not his face. When nothing attempts to inspire Cullen to go out, the family takes it a step further. They intend to counterfeit monetary issues and blame him for going to a school. One night when Cullen awakens to hydrate, his folks profess to be stressed over their funds. They emphatically pronounce that they will just have fried eggs for breakfast until they bring in sufficient cash for Cullen's self-teaching. He feels dreadful to bring his folks such a lot of hardship. The following morning, he announces that he will be going to class for the impending semester. The family is thrilled until he makes reference to that he will simply go to an all-young men's school. Despite the fact that they would have favored him to have the option to converse with young ladies, they are glad to approach slowly and carefully. A couple of days after the fact is Cullen's most memorable day at a real school. Oakes drops him off on his bicycle, however Cullen doesn't take his protective cap off. He intends to wear it the whole day to conceal the reality that he is attractive. Notwithstanding, the arrangement misfires when the cap gets more notice than he expected to. Cullen unobtrusively plunks down in the last seat, yet is gotten down on by the class menace City and his flunkies. At the point when the educator enters the homeroom, she also is shocked to see a person with a cap. She asks him to take it off right that moment. Albeit hesitant, Cullen has absolutely not a chance yet to oblige. He gradually takes the protective cap off in an emotional manner, uncovering his face. In the accompanying scene, the educator is being stacked into an emergency vehicle. Incidentally, she began to nosebleed and hyperventilate in light of Cullen's magnificence. Different children grumble to the main that the new understudy is too attractive to even consider taking care of. Cullen goes through the corridor to return home, yet is stumbled by one of the harassers. They carry him to the school's storeroom and present themselves like they are power officers. They are known as the Teague Attack, a gathering of 3 harassers driven by City, the importance child. After the beyond ridiculous presentation, they uncover that they need Cullen's assistance to ask a young lady out for prom. The gathering has been in the senior year of school for the past 3 years. They decline to graduate until City goes to the prom with the most gorgeous young lady of the BBM school, Amanda. Notwithstanding, she just acknowledges demands from attractive men, so the gathering believes that Cullen should convey the proposal. They relegate a guiltless person, Kibo, to help Cullen and lead the way. Kibo has likewise been a survivor of their tricks before and is obliged to do what the harassers say. A while later, Cullen goes to the Key's office with Kibo to submit an authority question about harassment in school. Kibo understands what the result will be, nevertheless he actually goes with Cullen. The chief is pained by his child declining to graduate. Since Cullen's magnificence allows him an opportunity to take Amanda to the prom, the chief maintains that they should do anything that the harassers say. That night, Cullen and Kibo choose to follow through with the job the following day and get free of the obligation. Kibo is the main individual who has offered grace to Cullen, irrelevant to his excellence. Albeit the day didn't go as expected, he is glad to have acquired a companion. The following morning, they go to the BBM school where the young ladies smell the presence of the young men. They are severe about not permitting revolting young men to enter the school premises. Consequently, when they notice Cullen wearing a protective cap, the whole school requests that he take it off. In a climactic scene, Cullen takes the protective cap off and anarchy follows among the young ladies. A couple of hours after the fact, the news comes to the TV. Classes of young ladies crying, seeping through their noses, getting had. Furthermore, hopping around is being shared overall around web-based entertainment. Cullen begins being known as the too attractive to even consider taking care of fellow. The most blazing understudy of the BBM school and model named Amanda additionally hears the news and is in a split second stricken by Cullen. He is the primary person who coordinates in magnificence and status with her. She quickly makes it her central goal to intrigue him. At the point when the news becomes gigantic, a horde of young ladies accumulates before the mass home. The family begins charging them cash for a house visit. Cullen, who is hiding in the roads, sees his family on the news. He feels double-crossed and utilized by his own kin. At the point when they call him, he will not get back home and feels much more troubled when his pet fish is misused and killed by the sightseers. He is currently on the top of a structure stowing away from the lunatics pursuing him in the roads. Out of nowhere, a young lady shows up behind him and asks on the off chance that he will leap off the rooftop. Cullen sees her in shock since she doesn't drain from her nose or drop on seeing him. The young lady won't talk and basically leaves. Cullen is anxious to the point that he can scarcely talk. The experience fills his heart with joy much better. Sometime later, he calls Kibo, who gets him and welcomes him to his home. He and his grandma invite Cullen to remain however long he needs. On strolling into Kibo's room, he sees two interesting collectibles playing a card game and is flabbergasted by them. They understand that they share a few normal interests and playing card assortment is one of them. The next day, they visit the all-young lady school to search for the young lady from yesterday. While they are grinding away, they additionally meet Amanda and give her the documents of the proposal sent by City. Amanda claims to be unamused by Cullen's magnificence, yet after he leaves, her nose drains profusely. Cullen sees his crush on the steps, yet different young ladies encompassing him don't permit him to meet her. For the following couple of days, Kibo and Cullen do everything together and become dearest companions. One evening, Kibo takes Cullen to play futsal, where he goes as often as possible to meet his crush, Rira. After the match, Cullen sees the young lady from the rooftop working at a shop close by. He can't resist the urge to gaze at her. All at once, Kibo shows up and acquaints Rira with him. Cullen finds that she is additionally Kibo's crush, who he was discussing before. The two appear to be very close, which makes Cullen envious. He can barely nod off that evening on the grounds that the inclination is new and confounding to him. Then he recalls Oki's is an affection master and fixes a gathering with him. At the point when they meet the next morning, Oki's separates sobbing tears of satisfaction. He had been trusting that the day will offer his sibling guidance on young ladies. Cullen has excused his family for selling him out to his fans since, supposing that that had not occurred, he couldn't ever have met Rira. The siblings then, at that point, go out to shop for food while Oki's rattles off the places of things Cullen ought to do to dazzle his crush. As Cullen follows Oki's ideas, he enrolls. He is a long way from realizing Rira like Kibo knows her. Yet he actually doesn't have any desire to abandon his most memorable love. One evening, Amanda comes to the young men's school and hands Cullen a greeting for her birthday. Close by, she likewise gives him a telephone as a gift. Sometime thereafter, Kibo, Cullen, and Rira go to karaoke. In the long run, Rira and Cullen get to sing together. While Cullen is eager for two-part harmony with her, Rira just spotlights Kibo. He before long registers that she additionally loves Kibo back. The disclosure causes his heart to fold in desire. Thus, when Kibo isn't anywhere near, he obtusely inquires as to whether she really likes him. At first, Rira denies it, yet when Cullen lies about Kibo being infatuated with Amanda, her face drops. Her appearance is sufficient to validate his intuitions. In the wake of getting back, Cullen calls Amanda and asks her for some help. She joyfully consents to do whatever he says. The following day, a few groups accumulate at the scene to commemorate her birthday. At the point when Cullen and Kibo show up, Amanda invites them. For some odd reason, she is by all accounts more keen on Kibo than in Cullen. She even pulls him to the side to converse with him in private. Simultaneously, Rira shows up at the party and sees Amanda kissing Kibo. Grief-stricken, she runs outside. Exploiting her weakness, Cullen admits his affections for her. Rira says thanks to him, however, guarantees that she never considered him to be somebody in excess of a companion. Indeed, even subsequent to planning against his main closest companion, Cullen doesn't get anything consequently. The gathering of menaces likewise see Amanda kissing Kibo and are incensed with envy and outrage. They beat Kibo available while Cullen watches from the neighboring, too terrified to even think about meddling. Afterward, he brings Kibo home and dresses his injuries close to his grandma. Solely after seeing him groan in torment, does Cullen understand that he has committed a tremendous error. The following day, Kibo gives him an incredible card from his card assortment that Cullen had been needing for quite a while. Organization ridden, Cullen admits to all that off base he has done work now. Kibo is stunned and wounded by the disloyalty. He guarantees that he would have left Rira assuming he realized Cullen preferred her as well. The words just hurt Cullen considerably more. Finally, Kibo orders him to promptly escape the house. Realizing that he is off base, Cullen basically leaves. He at long last gets back following a month. His family is thrilled, however the equivalent can't be said for Cullen. He secures himself in his room and doesn't converse with anybody. In any case in particular, he misses his dearest companion. The two catch each other on occasion, however share nothing in excess of a look. At home, Cullen's mom is stressed over his prosperity. She moves toward him one evening and gives him his pet fish that never passed on. She likewise lets him know that he can return to being self-taught, assuming that is what he likes. The family just believes that his bliss and is prepared should do anything for it. Cullen, contacted by her words, understands that he has individuals in his day-to-day existence who are pulling for his prosperity. This propels him to make things right between him and Kibo. The following morning, he races to Rira and tells her the beginning and end. Following that, he goes to Kibo and attempts to apologize. In spite of the fact that Kibo excuses him from the get-go, when gotten some information about Rira, he begins to portray the amount he adores her. Cullen shows him that Rira was paying attention to him on the telephone the whole time. Like that, he repairs their relationship and returns to being both their companions. A couple of days after the fact, they generally go to prom together. Kibo's date is Rira, while Cullen's date is Amanda. True to form, Cullen and Amanda come out on top for the championship of prom ruler and sovereign. Cullen hears a young lady remark that he is just somewhat attractive and is immediately attracted to her, showing the beginning of another relationship. Much thanks for watching. If you have liked the video, please subscribe and give the thumbs up.